Hello students, welcome to online classes of Sri Mahavir International School, Kishangarh Renwal. I hope you all are well at your home. Today we will discuss about chapter number 4 of history, that is the Mughal Empire. And in this chapter we will discuss that how the Mughals established their empire in India and about the Mughal rulers like Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shahjahan, Aurangzeb, etc. and the policies followed by the Mughals administrative and the religious. And last we will discuss that why the mighty Mughal Empire declared. It means how the Mughal Empire declared. And by the end of this chapter, you will be able to understand that Babur established the rule of the Mughal dynasty in India, and the most prominent Mughal ruler include Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shahjahan, and Aurangzeb. And the Mughal created a strong structure of administration and brought new idea of governance, and there were several reasons for the decline of the Mughal Empire. This chapter deals with the establishment of Mughal rule in India. It discussed the prominent Mughal rulers and their administrative policies. The chapter also focuses on the reason for the eventual decline of this chapter. Now let's start the chapter. In 1500, between 1500 to 1900, there were some events like in 1526, the Battle of Panipat that took place between Babur and the Ibrahim Lodi, and Babur founded Mughal dynasty. After this, in 1530, Humayun ascended throne. It means Humayun became the Mughal emperor. In 1540, Sher Shah Suri ascended throne. It means Sher Shah Suri became the ruler. And in 1556, Second Battle of Panipat, it means 1566, Second Battle of Panipat that took place between Akbar and Hemu Vikramaditya, and the Akbar ascended throne. It means Akbar became the Mughal emperor. And in 1600, the Jahangir ascended. In 1605, Jahangir ascended throne. It means Jahangir became the ruler or Mughal emperor. In 1628, Shahjahan ascended throne. It means Shahjahan became the Mughal emperor. In 1653, Taj Mahal was built, and in 1658, Aurangzeb became the Mughal emperor. And in 1707, the death of Aurangzeb. And last 1857, the first war of independence, end of Mughal dynasty. All these events we will discuss in this chapter. Now, to start the chapter, the Mughals. The Mughals claim to be the descendant of Genghis Khan. It means the descendant of Mughal. Genghis Khan, the ruler of Mongol tribes of China and Central Asia from their mother's side. From their father's side, they were fifth generation descendant of Timur, who had attacked Delhi in 1398. The name Mughal was derived from the word Mongol. It means the Mughal is derived from the Mongol. The Mughal followed the Timurid tradition of succession in which the inheritance of the throne was shared among the brothers. It means the Mughals they followed the policy of Timur, and in this policy they distribute the territory among the brothers. This always left room for conflict among the brothers who were keen to rule the Mughal Empire, and that's why there will be the conflict or struggle between the brothers. There are many references of rebellion by the Mughals princes in the contemporary accounts left by the historian. Now, first Mughal emperor was Babur, that ruled over India in 1526 to 1530. Babur, the first Mughal emperor, ascended the throne at Fargana, a small principality in Transoxania, in 1494. It means Babur became the emperor of Fargana in 1494. He was thrown out of his hometown by Uzbeks. It means he thrown out by the Uzbeks. They from the Faragana. He carved out a fresh territory for himself in Kabul in 1504, and he controlled a fresh territory, a new territory, Kabul in 1504. The unstable political situation in India after Sikandar Lodi's death and invitation invitation from the Daulat Khan Lodi, the governor of Punjab, encouraged Babur to attack India. It means after the death of Sikandar Lodi, the situation was imbalanced in India, and the Daulat Khan Lodi also invite, and Daulat Khan Lodi was the governor of Punjab. They invite to attack the India. At the first battle of Panipat in 1526, Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi. Means the first battle of Panipat was took place in 1526 between Babur and Ibrahim Lodi, and in this battle, Ibrahim Lodi was defeated by the Babur, the Sultan of Delhi, was and established Mughal rule in India. And by this battle, the Babur established the Mughal dynasty in India. He also defeated Rana Sanga of Mewar and the chieftains in and around Delhi and Agra at the Battle of Khanwa in 1527. And in 1527, Babur also defeated the Rana Sanga in the Battle of Khanwa. In 1528, he defeated the Rajput at Chanderi. In 1528, he also defeated Rajputs in Chanderi. All these helped Babur to lay the foundation of all Indian empire. The important Mughal rulers were Babur, Humayun, Akbar, Jahangir, Shahjahan, and Aurangzeb. Now, second ruler that was Humayun. That ruled 1530 to 1540 and from 1555 to 56. After Babur's death, Humayun succeeded his father in 1530. To sustain imperial power and hegemony, Humayun had to fight against the Afghans both in the east and the west. It means Humayun faced the opposition of Afghans in the east and west. At the same time, he had to face hostility from his own brothers, which weakened his cause against the Afghans. And at the same time, the brothers of the Humayun were also against the Humayun. The Afghans united under the leadership of Sher Khan, who was popularly known as Sher Shah Sur. Sher Khan ruled from Sasaram in modern day Bihar, and the Sher Shah Suri was ruling in Sasaram, and Sasaram is located in Bihar. They captured God, the capital of Bengal, and besieged Muhammad Shah, the ruler of Bengal. Sher Khan defeated Humayun first, first at the Battle of Chausa that took place in 1539, and then at Kannauj that 1540. It means Sher Shah Suri defeated the Humayun in two battles. First battle in Battle of Chausa that took place in 1539, and the second battle that took place in Kannauj that in 1540. Humayun fled from India. It means Humayun went from the India and sought refuge in Persia. Sher Shah established the Sud dynasty with his capital at Delhi, and in 1540 Sher Shah Sur established new dynasty that was known as Sur dynasty. Su dynasty and the capital of the Su dynasty was Delhi. He introduced the Rupaya, organized military and postal system. His land revenue policy became the basis of later Mughal land revenue system. With the help of the Persian king Shah Tamsab, Humayun conquered Kabul and Kandahar and captured Delhi and Agra. But again, with the help of Shah Tahmasp, Humayun again conquered or captured Kabul, Kandahar, and Delhi, Agra. He re-established the Mughal rule in 1555 but died in 1556, leaving behind his minor son Akbar. Now, next ruler Akbar. Two major sources which provide information about Akbar's period are Akbarnama and Aine Akbari, written by Abul Fazl, one of the nine jewels or Navratna of Akbar's court. It means the two major source about the we get information of Akbar. They were Akbarnama and Aine Akbari, and these were written by the Abul Fazl. And Abul Fazl was the one of the nine jewels or Navratna in the Akbar court. The first volume of Akbarnama dealt with Akbar's ascent, and the second volume recorded the event of Akbar's design. Its concluding portion consists of an account of Akbar's administration, agrarian system, and the empire, and is known as Aine Akbari. It means the Akbarnama is divided into three volumes. First volume deal with the main center of the Akbar. Second volume, the main conquer that done by the Akbar, and third, the main agrarian system, education system they deal in third volume. It also provides rich statistical detail of crops, yield, prices, wages, and revenue. Akbar was only 13 years old at the time of Humayun's death. It means in 1556 when Humayun was died, the Akbar was only 13 years old. After his coronation in 1556, his tutor Behram Khan took over as regent. It means when the Akbar became the Mughal emperor, the Behram Khan was the tutor of the Akbar. He became the Wakil of the kingdom. It means the Behram Khan became the Wakil of the kingdom with the title of Khan-e-Khana. He became powerful while ruling in Akbar's name. One of the major achievements of his regency period was the defeat of Hemu, the Wazir of the Shu dynasty, and the Afghan forces in the Second Battle of Panipat in 1556, who posed a serious threat to the Mughal emperor. It means the main success of the Behram Khan was the defeating the Hemu in the Second Battle of Panipat in 1556. Now, expansion policy. What was the expansion policy of the Akbar? At first, Akbar took steps to end the conflict within the nobility. He suppressed the revolt of his half-brother Mirza Hakim and the governor of Kabul and the Uzbeks who were unhappy with Akbar's growing stature. Then Akbar embarked on an expansionist policy. He entered into conflict with different powers like Rajput in Rajputana, Afghans in Gujarat, Bihar, Bengal, and Deccan kingdom like Bijapur, Golconda, and Ahmednagar. All these parts controlled by the Akbar that you can see in the map. It means between 1570 and 1585, Akbar managed to capture the area of Gujarat, Bihar, and Bengal and reduce to power of the Afghans. Between 1855 and 1591, between 1585 and 1591, Akbar also established his control over Kabul, Kandahar, Kashmir, and Sindh. After 1590, Akbar undertook a planned Deccan policy to bring these states under Mongol control. After 1590, the Akbar started planning to control the Deccan area. Gradually, Mughal territory in the Deccan came to include Ahmednagar, Berar, and Khandesh. Akbar and the Rajputs. Now, we will discuss the relation between Akbar and Rajputs. Akbar knew that to have a stable empire, he must control the large territory under Rajput king in the neighboring region of Rajputana. Means Akbar knew that if he want to establish a strong or a powerful territory or powerful empire, so first he will he will control the Rajput in the Rajputana. Akbar tried to win over the Rajputs wherever possible and inducted Rajput king into Mughal services. He treated them at par with Mughal nobility by marrying Jodhabai, daughter of Raja Biharimal of Jaipur in 1562. Akbar displayed his secular policy toward Hindus. Many Rajput kings helped Akbar in expanding and consolidating the Mughal Empire, and it means some Rajput helped to the Akbar for expanding their territory. Like Biharimar also married their daughter Jodhabai in Jaipur in 1562 to Akbar. This became possible because Akbar recognized their traditional ruling area such as Watan Jagir, and they were given additional Jagir outside Rajasthan. Now battle with Rana Pratap. The only Rajput king who stood against Akbar was Rana Pratap. It means only Rajput that opposed the Akbar, that was Rana Pratap or Maharana Pratap, ruler of Mewar, and his son Amar Singh. Akbar captured Chittor in 1568 and Ranthambore in 1569. Now, the famous Battle of Haldighati was fought between the Mughal and Maharana Pratap in 1576 near Gogundo or Haldighati. The Mughal army was led by Man Singh of Amer. It means the leadership that done by the Mughal army was Man Singh. Rana Pratap, despite all effort by Akbar, did not submit. Rana was able to recapture many of his lost territories from the Mughals, including Kumbhalgarh. He established his new capital at Chawan and was thus able to secure the honor of Mewar. After this, the Maharana Pratap created his new capital, that was Chawan. Now next Jahangir, that will be discussed in next video.